What's up, everybody? Let me load this a little bit, my bad. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Do Guy, coming at y'all with another episode of Drop It Dimes with Mr. Do Guy. And I'm going to continue my division by division preview and prediction. Next division I'm going to go over is the NFC South, yo. Before I get into this video, for everyone, if you want to give me a follow on my social media platforms, I'm going to have all that information down in the description box. May not always get a chance to respond to questions and comments on these videos, so feel free to DM me. Whenever I get a chance to, I'll get back at you. Come holler at your boy. Also, if you're a Madden player on Xbox One, I'll have my Xbox One gamer tag in the description box also. Yeah, man, NFC North, man, this is a very interesting division. To be honest with you, this division is the hardest to me division to figure out, yo. First, I'm gonna go off of last year, results. Minnesota Vikings won the NFC North last year. A lot of people thought that they were kind of a fraudulent team, though despite the fact that they won so many games. I wouldn't say they were fraudulent, but they were very lucky in a lot of situations. Got a lot of 1- and 2-point wins, and when they lost, they lost. Like, they got destroyed when they lost. But, they did their thing last year, lost in a wild card to the New York Giants, who went out there and got a nice win against them on the road. Then you had the Detroit Lions, came out of nowhere. I kind of low-key rooted for Detroit a little bit last year, simply because I watched Hard Knocks. I'm a big Hard Knocks fan. I got to start watching the one with the Jets. I didn't watch the first episode yet, but I will. And I watched every episode with the Lions and Hard Knocks last year. And I became a low-key fan of theirs, of Dan Campbell and just their coaches and their players. And everything they preached, they accomplished. I mean, they nearly made the playoffs, and they coming in this season with a lot of hype, which I'm going to get to in a little bit. But great, they swept the Packers and knocked the Packers out of the playoffs. That's a good building block for them. Next, you had the Green Bay Packers, who, had a very disappointing year last season with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, based on their own standards. Just a real slow start. They kind of turned it on a little bit toward the end. Rodgers didn't have Devontae Adams. They had a lot of young receivers and young pieces, and they fell short. And now we going into the Jordan Love era, which I'm going to get into in a little bit. And then you had the Chicago Bears, who just were a terrible team last year. Though Justin Fields was a walking highlight reel last year, as a team, they were a terrible team. They actually were the worst team in the NFL. But, they traded the #1 pick to Carolina, obviously, because they're pretty okay with their quarterback, which you can't blame them. Now looking at each team coming into this year, I'm going to start off with those Chicago Bears. They had a really nice offseason. Will it translate to wins? We'll see. But they added DJ Moore, who is a reliable wide receiver for Justin Fields. They added TJ Edwards from my Eagles, and they also added, Tremaine Edmonds from Buffalo. They got some nice pieces, man. The running back room is a little unsettled. We're not quite sure about the running back room. At least I'm not yet. Tight end position, Cole Kmet had a really nice year last year. He's gonna be an up and coming tight end, one of these fantasy sleepers. And defensively, like I said, they got these two new linebackers, and they play pretty solid defense all around. I still think, though, they need and they drafted, I think it was Paris Johnson. They drafted a lineman in the top 10. I think they still need a little more. I think they'll be better. I think they'll be contending. I think they'll kind of be this year's version of what Detroit was last year, where they'll be contending, for a wild card spot. But we'll see. I think they still need a little more, especially in their defensive secondary. Next team I'm going to go over is the Green Bay Packers. We start the Jordan Love era. The little bit he got in last year, he showed a little flash, showed a little potential. He got a lot of physical ability. The offensive line's in stack. They still got Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, to rely on, to pound the ball with. Receiving core Christian Watkins had a really nice end of the season. He got a lot of hype around him coming into this season. Romeo Doubs, another young receiver coming up. You know, they got, I believe they still got Robert Tonyan at tight end. And defensively, you know, they got some nice players, you know, with Quay and you know, Clark and all them, and Jair Alexander in the secondary, Eric Stokes. They got, to me, they're still the most talented team in this division. To me, I think they're the most talented team in the NFC North. Will it lead to them winning the division? It all depends on Jordan Love. If Jordan Love is good, I think the Green Bay Packers could win this division. Next team we go over is the Detroit Lions. Look, and I'm gonna say this, man. They got Jared Goff back. You know, he's revived his career over there. They traded up to get Jahmyr Gibbs. You know, took him a little high, but a very talented running back. They got David Montgomery over there as kind of like the pounding type of running back. They got Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's really, you know, turned himself into a really, really solid weapon, you know. And they also got Jameson Williams when he finished with his suspension. You know, a young tight end they got from Iowa. Defensively, Aiden Hutchinson, who had a really good rookie year. He's really good. Oh, they also got a really nice offensive line. Aiden Hutchinson is a really good pass rusher. In the secondary, they added Chauncey Gardner-Johnson from my Eagles. They added Brian Branch, you know, the rookie. You know, they got a lot of hype going into them this year. So much so that they're going to be playing on the opening Thursday night game in Arrowhead. I got to see, you know, a lot of coaches. I got to see how Dan Campbell does, you know, handling expectation. Dan Campbell gives me a lot of, he's like the perfect underdog type of coach for me. You know, that's what I want to see with Doug Peterson and Jack. Though I do think Jacksonville will win the division because of talent. But Doug Peterson also, you know, though we did get to a divisional round after we went to the Super Bowl. But Doug Peterson is another guy, an underdog mentality type of coach. Dan Campbell is a lot of, we're going to work harder, we're going to try harder. It's an underdog mentality. How will that translate to where people are expecting you to win now? You know, that's what I want to see when it comes to Detroit. Because Detroit has some expectations now for the first time in a very long time. So we're going to see. And the last team I'll go over is the Minnesota Vikings. You know, Kirk Cousins over there is, you know, a guy that I think is a little underappreciated. He's a little better than, he's not great, but he's better than people give him credit for. I'll say that about him. They don't have Dalvin Cook no more. They're going along with Alexander Madison, who shown flashes of being a solid back, but we're going to see how he is with the load basically on him. They got Justin Jefferson, who former LSU Tiger is amazing, was voted the second best player in the whole NFL. I mean, the guy is outstanding. I mean, I don't know what else to say about him. And then they got Jordan Addison, the rookie over there. You know, I watched a little bit of him. He's a good receiver. TJ Hawkinson, defensively, you know, my guy, Danielle Hunter. You know, they still got Harrison Smith back there kicking it. You know, they got talent, and Brian Flores is calling the defensive plays. You would think they'll be better defensively. So Minnesota is still a very good playoff caliber team. Now for me is who's going to win this division. This is, like I said, this is the only division where I can honestly say I wouldn't be surprised if any one of these four teams won the division. If any one of these four teams did really well, or any one of these four teams kind of flopped, it wouldn't surprise me. They all got boom or bust potential. But if I had to make a prediction on this division, which I will do, I'm going to go with Green Bay, man. I just think that their young players are a year older. I know Jordan Love is the little bit I seen of him, I liked it, though. I liked what I seen from him. You know, when I think about, like, when I talk about Atlanta, the little bit I seen of Ritter, I didn't really like him like that. The little bit I seen of Love, I like him. He's athletic, got a strong arm. He's in a really good offensive system. He's young. He got weapons. He got a running game. He got an offensive line. He got, you know, receivers. He got a tight end. He got a good defense. I think they're the best, most complete team in that division. It's all about if Love plays well, and I think he gonna play well enough for Green Bay to win the NFC North this year. So I'm gonna roll with the Green Bay Packers. But with that being said, that's all I got for y'all today. Appreciate y'all checking out the video. Hit the like button for your boy. Give me a subscribe. I'm gonna have Philadelphia Eagles, NFL, and content of my other teams throughout the year. Y'all have a blessed one. Fly, Eagles, fly.